Good afternoon everybody and welcome to Flame River Forge channel. In this video I'm going to show you how you can change the colour of your fish tank from, say like this one's a pine, and we're going to change it to a white because it will go with the room. Instead of having to buy a new fish tank, what we'll do is we'll literally just rewrap this one and then make it into a white fish tank. I'm going to show you how to do all this straight after this intro. Guys, and welcome back. Right, so the first thing you're going to need to do is obviously take the fish out of the tank. I've just got a small holding tank. I've put the filter in there and the heater that goes in there because this is a tropical tank. We're just going to be redoing it. It's a bit grubby, it's not had a lot of maintenance, and we want to change it and put it over into the corner over here, which I will show you in a moment. But we can't because it's just pine, and everything else in this room at the moment is either cream white or like a light green. And I think that the best option for this fish tank, instead of getting another one, which costs obviously a lot of money, is to just re-wrap it. So what I've done is I've just gone and got some wrap. It's just a white wrap that you can get from any store. These are about £6. They're not a lot of money. And we're just going to be wrapping the tiny bits on here that are obviously, what I'll probably just do a piece, and then I'll just show you how I did it, and then we'll just go through stages like that. We're not going to wrap the inside of the cupboard because there's no point. There are a few bits on the side where they're flaking, where the water's got to it. I'm going to show you how you can tackle those and deal with that as we go along in the process. So we will find out how to do that along the way. Well, so the first thing you need to do, obviously, like I say, take the fish out. Then we're going to just need to take the big parts. Make sure you've got a bowl or a bucket or something. Take out, if you've got any ornaments or anything like that, get all those out first. Get as much water off as you can, because the last thing you want to do is flood the place. I'm just going to put these on a towel on the floor to dry out, and then we'll see what we've got left. And there is quite a big rock in here, to be honest with you. Let's have a look what we've got here. This rock is massive. Probably the majority of the tank is very dirty. This rock is possibly too big for this old tank, really. Just because you can't gravel clean it or anything. It's a massive rock. A massive rock. See that? That rock is huge. So leave it on the floor to soak up. Get out all the little plants and everything else that's in there. And then I'll just show you how we can drain the water out in a moment. Fish tanks in homes are sometimes dangerous, just for the sheer fact that, you know, they're like, it's a lot of water to have in your home, isn't it? So, and if it does decide to break, that is a lot of water on the floor. I'm going to take you a little bit further back so you can see what's going on. Here we go. Right, so once that's done, I don't know if you know how to or whether you've got one, but I'll just quickly demo. This one's a little bit rustic and a little bit old, but I'll just show you how a gravel feeder works, because this is going to be what we use to drain the rest of the stuff out of the fish tank. So you just sort of put your finger on the end. You allow some water to go into the funnel thing. You lift it up, and as you lift it up and the water starts to come out, you sort of lower it in at the same time. And you have to do that a few times, and then it eventually will start to work. And then there'll be a constant flow. So as you can see now, it's a constant flow of water. You can use it to clean the gravel. I'm not sure if you can see too much of that, but this will get rid of the majority of the water, and obviously cleaning the gravel at the same time just means that when I get it out, I don't have to clean it too much because it will already be cleaned. I might recommend changing the stones in this because they are very mixed. going to continue to get the water level down, all the way down as far as I can, and then we'll come back to this, guys, in a moment, okay? So see you in a bit. So guys, as you can see, I'm actually almost at the bottom of draining this tank. It's literally almost come to a standstill. This gravel cleaner has literally sucked out pretty much all the water in the tank itself. There's no water in that out now, so what we're going to do now is just literally clean the sides. So let me just get rid of that. And as you can see here, I have like a brush, literally just with that end, just get some of the algae off that's on the thing. Just don't push hard, just to clean it all off. Once you've gone around and got all the algae off, which is on there, as you can see on the sponge there, it's all good. Then we'll just scoop out the gravel. We're going to take the backing off, give it a nice new backing. Take this old thermometer temperature thing here off as well. There's a new one on the side there, so we don't really need the old one there. Don't even know what this is or why it's on there, but we're going to obviously wrap these and get all the rest wrapped. So the whole frame is all nice and good. We've got them bits on the floor like I mentioned before. We've just been tipping the water out as we go along. And we're going to crack on and get the rest of it done. See you in a minute. Okay guys, as you can see, I've already wrapped this piece here in the white that I'm going to be doing. So literally you can imagine like the whole thing's going to be white, and it's really effective. You don't have to go and buy a whole new tank. I've cleaned it all out now. All of the mess is gone. I used a sponge, just like a nice soft sponge. Don't use anything that will scratch the glass. And cleared it all out. It's all gone. It's really light and able to move. But I want to wrap the tank whites at this sort of height because it's a nice height to work on it. And then once that's done, I'll take it off and then we'll show you dismantling the stand. But just for now, all I want to show you is literally just wrapping the sections and how it will give it a fresh new look. And how to do it really. I mean, it's really simple. All you got to do is make sure it's really clean and like got no sort of grease or anything on there that will stop the wrap from sticking. So just wipe it down with a nice cloth. Don't make sure it's not a damp cloth, and don't use any products like polish or anything because you don't want to lose the stick on the wrap. So once it's all cleaned off, just get all the muck off there. If there's any mess or anything on there, like this has just got a little tiny bit of mess there, but it's not too bad. So what you want to do is, remember this is glass, you'll need a heat gun and you will need a Stanley knife, and that is all you'll really need. Make sure the blade is really super sharp, because if it's blunt then it's just going to rip and it's just going to look rubbish. So what you want to do is literally just heat up what you're going to do, so just a little bit. Once you've heated that up, that's got a nice warm feel to it, so you don't need to do a lot. And then all you need to do now is literally grab the wrap. I'll show you. I'm just going to show you this piece, and then I'll finish wrapping the sides. You don't need to see that because it's exactly the same, but I will show you how to do the stand, and then we'll put it all together and we'll see what it starts to look like. I'm probably going to have to wait for my dad to see what he wants to do because it's his tank, so I don't want to go put things in there. I would like to put silver gravel in and stuff just to go with the theme of the room, but I'll speak to him and see what he says. So you want to get the corner and literally just put it right into the edge there, so that this end needs no cutting. So once that's done, you just need to line it up. Obviously there's going to be a bit of an overlap, and that is absolutely fine. Pull it as taut as you can, and then literally just rub your finger straight down the middle, like so, and then leave the next bit up to the heat gun. Get it hot, but don't get it too hot so that it, you don't want it so that it melts the wrap, and you don't want it so that it goes and heats the glass up too much and cracks the glass, because there is glass behind that. You just want it enough. Just do it enough like where your hand is here, and then you feel that it's getting hot, and then that heat, you know that distance is just like a nice warm temperature, because this isn't going to burn you unless you stupidly put your hand on it, but you can feel how warm it will be, so you know how warm it's going to be on there. So that's a good distance there. So get it nice and warm. Make sure you get it in the edges. Right, that's all it needs for now. So once that is done, I've got this little handy device here, which is probably what you could get. You could probably use a credit card, but it might break. It's got like a spongy end, and then it's just like a a proper spreader. It came with one of the kits for wrapping once, and I always use it. It's a really handy tool. But I think you can get them for like a couple of pounds, so it might be worth investing in one of these. I mean, it will save you the price of a tank. So what's a tank these days? Something like this sort of tank would probably cost about £500, and you'd probably change your tank because you'd think, oh, you know what, I don't like it, I want to get a different coloured one. But you don't need to. You can just wrap it. It's a lot cheaper and it's a lot easier. Sometimes people will just spend money on tanks, and there's really no need when you can just do this. And in that way you can learn how to wrap stuff as well. It's always good to try new things. If you don't think you can do it, you don't know until you try, do you? So the best thing to do is have a go, and then if you don't succeed, then you'll know that you're no good at it. Or you could just keep trying until you are, which is what I always do. So what you want to do, like I say, just make sure you get all those bubbles out. Push this up as hard as you can into this gap, because this gap is where you do not want to have anything showing through. So you do not want any of the any of the pine showing through, because obviously it's going to ruin the effect and people are going to know it's wrapped. But this way, I mean, to be honest with you, if we do it well enough, no one will even know that this tank didn't even come in this colour. So that is what we want to achieve. So once you have put all that on and you have applied that, the next thing you want to do is literally go down this edge, but you want to be very careful. Don't rush and do it, but just take your time, because this is where you can do it so that obviously the pine will show. So just be very careful. Press down as you go and do it very slowly. If you can just do it once and not have to keep doing it over and over again, that's going to save you a lot of money on wrap. I'm hoping to wrap this whole tank with £12 worth of wrap, which is obviously very cheap. Don't get too carried away. Try and keep it steady. Once you get a bit more confident, I guess you could go faster, but I did try the first piece and I sort of tried to rush it, and then it just came out rubbish. So now I'm just going to take my time and just do it right. Right, so that's that bottom piece there. And then what we want to do is literally just peel it away, pull it down and away from it, like so. And then before you go on to the next bit, what you want to do is you want to just heat the bit you did so it doesn't go anywhere. So you can either have it on a low heat or you can have it on a high heat. It doesn't really matter, but just remember, do not get it too hot. So I have it on a low heat, which is quite good. Get it nice and close and in there. Once that's done, what you need to do now is just literally get your little, I don't know what you call it, it's a spreader maybe? Like a little spreader, and just push down, make sure that's right in the gaps, that you don't see any of that pine at all. And then once that's done, I'm just going to quickly heat this bit up. Just because I've got a couple of bubbles and I'd like to get them out just before I continue. Here we go, so they're coming out. Once you apply enough heat, the bubbles will disperse and they will travel to the end and come out, which is good. Here we go, so that's out like that. Right, so once that's done, is that looking good? I think so. Right, so we need to just do this top edge. So again, obviously be very careful and take your time. So what you need to do is literally just get it in that top corner and then just follow it down. Go slow as you can. So when you get to an end, you always want to tee off at the end with a nice cut, just so that it's all gone, and then just peel away that piece, like so. Again, once we've done that, we want to be heating it up, so get a nice medium heat, get it all up there. Make sure that wrap does not come off, because we want it to stay on there forever if it's possible. There we go, and then we'll go over again with this. Make sure we get out all those bubbles, push all the bubbles to the edge, make sure that the edge is all nice and tight, make sure it's good and in there. There we go. And then all we got now to finish off with is this small edge here. So you want to make sure that this is all pressed into that edge, because this is where you can start to see the wrap. So that's where the edge is and where it starts and finishes. And then just, if you can, try and cut down enough so that there's like a tiny bit of an overhang, but not too much, because you can always tuck that in behind a bit of the plastic. If you don't have the plastic, then obviously just follow it down. Here we go. Take that away. Give that a nice good heat up. Once that's all heated up, push that in, either with the soft edge or the hard edge. It's entirely up to you what edge you want to use. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get that in there and push it down to the edge, and then I'm going to cut it again using the standing blade, which won't take long. So get that down there, and then just cut them little tiny edges up. So, okay, if you drop the blade, just be careful. I'm going to get up and do this. So what you need to do is just push that so it tucks under there. That is actually tucking under nicely because it's nice and warm, which is perfect for what I want. That's gone under lovely. Good. Nice. Right guys, so that is how you wrap the edging on the tank. So I don't know if you noticed in the book that is actually just give it a completely new look. I mean, I'm really happy with it. It looks really good, and it's really not expensive at all to do. So it's a nice simple thing. What we're going to do now is I'm just going to go and do the sides. I probably won't even bother with the back because you're not going to see it, and we'll get on with doing the stand. So see you in a bit. Okay guys, as you can see now, I have literally finished doing both sides of the tank, and to me the tank is completely transformed. It looks like a completely different tank to me. The pine didn't go in here, but that just looks really good. I don't know, you tell me what you think. Add it in the comments below. If you think wrapping the tank is a good idea to save you money, let me know. Right, so once the tank is now done, what we need to do is we just need to get the tank out of the way. What I'm going to do is just going to lift it. Do not lift the tank if it has still got things in the bottom. If there's gravel in there or if there's still water, do not lift the tank or even attempt to move it, because it will break. The tank is so light without anything on there. So, I mean, like I said, I didn't wrap the back. There's no point, you're not going to see it. Remember to bend with your legs and make sure that the tank is sitting on like a nice flat surface. What we are left with is the stand. So, I'm going to go ahead now and just take it apart. There's a few Allen keys, and then wrap it in stages. I don't know if you can see here, which I'll probably just take you off and show you because it's going to be so much easier. That the tank here, look, it's peeling. So what we're going to do is literally, we're not going to even try to repair that. We're just going to get that off completely, and then we'll just put some tape down there to say some like, I guess we're probably going to go for duct tape or something. So we'll put some duct tape down this line here, and then we'll wrap over the top of that. We don't really need to wrap the complete top. We'll probably wrap the bottom more because the top's going to be having the tank sitting on it, so you're not going to really see it. If you've got enough wrap, you can do it, but I probably wouldn't bother because you probably need to undo it at some point anyway. So let's go ahead and get this apart, and then we'll go on to the stages of wrapping it. See you in a bit. So guys, once you've got the covered apart that you're going to put the tank onto, as I showed you before, I was going to rip off the edges. Let me just find a bad edge, which is here. Look, I don't know if you can see. The edges are really bad, so they're peeling. So what I'm going to do is just literally done this edge already. where I'm just going to get some duct tape and just pull it really taut, so then you've got a nice edge. It puts it back into place, and then we can just wrap on top of that. I'm going to show you how to do this right now, just on that piece, because the rest of the edging is actually absolutely fine. So we don't want to just, don't go over something that's good enough as it is. What you're going to need is maybe like a knife and a Stanley knife. I didn't actually use a knife, so Stanley knife and some scissors so that you can cut the actual tape itself. But before you do all that, I just got like a damp cloth and I went over this, got off any like residue, just damp with water, and then just an old tea towel, and then just dried off any excess, because you don't want to put chemicals on there, because you don't want something too shiny where it won't stick. As you can see, the duct tape on here is stuck really, really well. So I'm not too sure what angle I'm going to be able to do this at, but I'm just going to do it this way, and then I know there's not much that you can see, but I'll lift it up so you can see in a moment. So what we need to do is literally, this tape is so good. It's like duct tape, so it's a really thick, like, it's got like fabric woven into it. So just get a bit that's long enough, rip it off like so, and then just place it onto the, well, there's loads of stringy bits, you don't want those on there. So let me just get those off quickly. This didn't happen last time, so there we go. Let's get that gone. You can see how sticky it is because I can't get it off my hand. Right, so you want to just put it on there just so it's like level enough on the edge, and then push it down nice and taut. And then I'll do it this way around, as you can see. So this is where all the edging is peeling and really bad. So you want to get it, and you want to pull it really tight around, and then just follow that down, pulling it really tight onto the edge. And then this bit here, pull it really tight, and then push that edge that's come away down, and follow your finger across. And then here, where the tape is, you want to make sure it's really flat, because obviously, I know it's not going to be seen, but if it does get seen underneath, obviously you don't want it to be ruined. So just make sure that's nice and flat down there, push it out to the edges, and then you've got that nice straight line back again. That's back, you know. And then all you need to do is get your Stanley blade here, and then on the edge, just follow it down, cutting away neatly all the excess, so that the edging is gone. And then we're going to follow that down there. There you go. You should really cut away from yourself, like so. And then that's good enough to wrap on top of. So that's a nice clean edge there, as you can tell. And now, as you can see, look, all that peeling is gone. So there's a few bubbles in there that I'll push out in a moment. But as you can tell, literally, this is really good for wrapping, and it will just stop it peeling. It will just look brand new, and it just saves you buying a new one. So if you buy a second-hand one and you want to do this process, you can, and then at least you know that do this before you continue, because then at least you won't. If it's peeling, you're like, oh, it's peeling, I can't have that. I'm not going to be able to do what I want. You can. You just literally, you just need to tape up the edges like that. So now this is all ready to go, ready to wrap. This is the bottom, so this is where I'm going to start from when I wrap this piece. I'm just going to get everything out of my way for a moment, just so I've got a nice clear table. There we go. And let's move the camera over to here. You just have to excuse the mess on the floor. We're just sort of moving everything around at the moment. So that's all good, that's ready to wrap. So we're going to wrap here, and then we're going to fold it over the edges, because this is the bit where the tank sits, but you don't see it because it's covered by the gravel of the floor. But we want it so that the white comes over the edge, probably as much as this has come over, and then that way, if it does sort of like come, if you do see it at the edges, then obviously you'll see it's white, and then you won't realise that the middle bit isn't done. And you don't want to waste wrap if you don't have to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my wrap, and I'm just good enough, it's good enough that it's actually fits this way round. So what you want to do is literally just get the roll and roll some of this underneath like that, so it's under enough, and then bring the roll over here, and then fold it over and find that there's like there's lines on this. So I'm just going to go down one of these lines here, just marking it. So this one is absolutely fine. Let's go with there. We'll follow this all the way down. It doesn't have to be very neat or level because you could always cut it again afterwards. And it's really for the main bit that you want to see, not this bit really. So I'm hoping this roll is going to wrap all of what I want it to. There are quite a few big pieces to wrap, so I'm not sure if I'll get away with it. But if I don't, then I have to buy another one. It's not a problem. So this is nice and shiny. As you can tell, that goes around there like that, and that will fold around the edges where I want it to once it's stuck, and then we'll be able to tuck that over nice and neatly there. And then what we'll do is we'll cut the edges and we'll get that all finished off. I might keep you on and then we'll just get it wrapped now so it's done out the way, and then I can show you what we need to do. So first thing we need to do is literally just push it down so it doesn't keep rolling up on itself. Let's take this out how we want it. So we want it like this. So put it down so that you can literally lift it onto there when you want. And we are going to get some tape ready, just a little bit of duct tape, and then we're going to get small pieces, put them on the edge ready to go, because this is going to hold down your wrap to stop it from rolling up on itself, because the last thing you want it to do is roll up like this when it's all stuck, because you will not get it apart, and that's not what you want. That is really not what you want. Right, so now that's done, we're going to go ahead and peel a corner. I'm doing it on this towel because I don't want to scratch up my dad's new coffee table that he's only just not long got. So obviously have some respect for people's stuff if you can. Right, so I'm just going to stick that right on that corner there, and that's stuck down there. As we go across here, and peel this like so. And then stick this corner down. Probably should have done it maybe just on the corner of the edge there. There we go. And then there, that's fine. We'll stick this. Let's see if we've got that now. 2 seconds. Stick that to that corner there. Fine. Right, these are going to go on the edge like that. And then we want to just slowly peel that back. Like so. Remember when you get to the edge, remember to get ready to stick the corners down. Pull it taut if you can, as taut as you can, and then stick it. And then again with the other corner. Do not let this roll in on itself. I'm going to get that down there. And then stick that corner down. So that's perfect. So now that's all nice and flat and ready to go. We want this side. This side is the bottom here, and then that's going to be the top where we're going to wrap it where you're not going to see it. So literally just line it up so that you know it's going to be close enough to the middle if possible. Slowly lever it down like so. Nice fit and press. And then once that's done, you can literally just take away the sticky tapes that you've used. You can put them on the side, use them again later. As you can tell, they're not sticking to it too much, so that's good. Here we go. I'm only going to show you this because I'm going to go wrap all the rest. You don't really need to see me doing the rest. Let's just sort of like tuck that under there temporarily for now because I need to get the bubbles out. And then we'll flip that around. There's a little bit of rubbish on there. Get that all off now while we can. And then we'll bring this around again, pull that down, lovely, and same with this side, just unfold that, and then what we're going to do, while it's not been heated up, I'm just going to get this nice thing, start from the middle, and then work my way out to the edges. Do it with before we apply any heat to it. There we go. If it gets a bubble and it's being a bit annoying, just peel it back. This is why I said don't stick it yet. And then go down and get it out. Follow them out. They should just come out quite easily. This is why I said it's probably a good idea to go get yourself one of these spreaders now while you can, and just literally just do it until all of them bubbles are out. What we're going to do once this is all out and all these bubbles are gone, we're just going to apply some heat for the rest of it. There are going to be a few little dimples there because they're where the holes are for the actual mounting of the top. Here we go. Right, so that is good enough to go there. When you get to the edge, just score it so that it sticks, so that it kind of like makes a groove in the edge, because you know that's where your final edge is going to be. So you want to get to the edge, and then you want to just sort of like push quite hard to mark that edge, because that's where the final edge of that's going to stay. So here we go. Right. Now we need to apply some heat. Don't get too close. We'll just go over it nicely. Nice even heat. That will just give it the chance to stick down once that dries off. That'll be nice and stuck. It's lovely. Looking good. So once you've finished doing that, what you want to do now is literally just mark your holes out, cut your holes where obviously where everything's going to go. So there's 2 holes there, as you can tell, and there's a hole there, there's another hole there, 1 hole there, and I think there's one up here somewhere. I think I saw there. So these are your holes here. So all you need to do is literally just cut those out with a knife. Just being careful not to slip or break it. It doesn't really have to be that neat, just enough so that the screws can go back through with ease and not rip up the plastic or the vinyl that you've got on. I'll just do one and then you'll see what I mean. So you just want to cut it out like that, and then obviously you've got your hole there. I'm just going to go ahead and just finish the rest off. So here we go. Go around here. Like that. That's the second one. This one out. Once you get going, I guess you could probably just do them quite quick because you'll know how to do them. There's that one. And then do this one. Around there like so. And then let's cut this one out. I'm not sure this one is. I don't remember this one being there. Must have been. Doesn't really matter. There's that one. There's one here. And I'm not sure if you can see on the camera, but when I do it, I can see it quite easily. So it's quite easy for me to see where it's got to go. And then there's another one. There's two more here. There's so many this side. Is there another one there? Yeah, there's another one there. So let's cut this one out. There we go. And then we've got this one. Oh yeah, because one of them was for wall plugs. I mean, not wall plugs, but the dowels. There was wooden dowels in there, so obviously you need to put the wooden dowels back in. And then the other ones were for screws. So once you've got all the holes out, then at least you've got where you've got to go to. Look at this last bit out here. There you are. So there are all the holes now pre-cut out. Move those to the side out of the way there. And now, literally, we've got to go on to doing the edging if we can. Let's get that last little bubble out. So we need to flip this up. So we'll just lift up the fabric there. And I'm just going to lift up this, which is trying to stick to the mat that I've got. Flip it over, like so. And then we just need to heat up the edging, if we can, and then do one edge at a time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this edge, get it nice and warm, heat the edging up. Don't get it too hot, if you can help it. And then when you're pulling this over, you obviously want to stretch it so that it stretches onto there, nice and tight. You can't really see what I'm doing, but I will show you in a moment so you can see. As you can see from this angle, I'm literally just stretching it so the edging that I get is nice and taut, nice and straight. And then I'm going to use this to go up over there. Get out any excess bubbles. Here we go. And then from the middle, I'm going to push that down and then work my way out. And I'll show you the edge in a second, so you can see how well it's coming out. Just remember, under here is where the tank sits, so you're not actually going to see any of that. So don't worry about that too much. Let's go down here. It's a bit of a lengthy process, and obviously it takes time and takes patience as well. But the end result will look good. I'm going to quickly pick this up now, and then I'll show you here, just on this edge. Let's lift the cap up a bit. Excuse the background mess, but then along here we just need to run along with this little scraper, get out any of the excess, like excess bubbles or mess or whatever is on there. Just run them to the edge, like that. And then literally you just got to keep going around and cutting. And then as you can see, you've got a nice white edge in there. And then this side will just look like that. And then just keep going around. Just going to get them little bubbles out, pull it a bit tighter, and then finish off. But I'll get that done and I'll come back in a minute and you can see what it looks like finished. Okay guys, so as you can see here, it's getting a bit dark, but I've wrapped all the pieces and I'm just going to want to put the stand together. Then tomorrow we'll get it in position in that corner and we'll see what it looks like, how different it looks compared to the pine one that it was before, just from a little bit of wrap. 2 rolls was plenty enough to do what I wanted to do. You could, if you want to, wrap inside, but there is actually no need. It looks really good, so literally I've gone over it with the duct tape just to hold the edges down, put the feet back in, obviously cut the holes out as you see on the other bit. So now I'm just going to quickly put it back together. So I've already put the back on, I just literally need to slide in, if it will go, this extra piece here. Kind of need to lift it up into position, see if it will go. So it goes in there, so like that. And then just look at these, just roll these screws up real quick, and then hopefully stand will be transformed. Considering it was like a pine stand before, and it wasn't, like I said, it didn't really go with anything in this room at all. So I mean, if you want to, I mean, each year if you redecorate all the time, you could just keep wrapping over the top of this, or pull the wrap off and then wrap it again. If you ever get something that's pine again, you could go back to the pine, if that's what you really wanted to do. Just going to quickly do these up. I've handily got an Allen key that came with the sofa. I'm just using that to do it all up. Let's do this one up. And I've got one more to do, and then we'll stand it up and we get the door on, and then we'll get the top on. And we'll see how different it actually looks. I'm not sure I'm not sure even if this has been done before. I mean, I haven't seen somebody wrap a tank before. There might be videos out there where someone's done it, but, you know. So, as you can see, that's there. What we need to do now is literally just place the top shelf on, but don't put it properly into position, so it goes that way round. So we don't want to put it properly into position because we need to get the door on. I don't know if you've seen the door yet, but look, that looks pretty cool. It goes well with the silver and the little silver handle there. I think it looks really good. So that just literally slides into a little slider at the bottom. And then it goes into the top, like so. And we just need to push it down. And there you go. Down. And we just need to put the screws into the top section, and then we'll push it back, and then we'll get an overview of what it looks like. Just get these screws rolled up real quick, and then I'll probably just put like a bit of tape around the edging, just to sort of stop it peeling or catching on anything, and that way it'll be done. But to me, this looks like a brand new stand. It looks like I've gone and bought it out of a shop. It doesn't look like a wrapped it at all. You can't tell. Let's just do these up, and then we'll get an insight. Might even just, if I do the top, I might even just quickly do the top, put the stand on, just so you can see what it's like. And then tomorrow, before we continue with putting gravel in it and getting it ready for the fish again, we'll see what it looks like up in the corner, how well it looks. That's done. That's all tight. That's pretty good. So it's going to put your back a tiny bit more, like there. And that's the stand, guys. That's what it looks like. You know, if you remember what it looked like before with the pine, probably put a picture up maybe here of the before one, and then it is still pine inside, but it doesn't really matter because you're not going to have it open all the time. But to me, it looks like a completely new stand. I'm going to get the top all done. We'll get the tank on, get it up in the corner, and then tomorrow we'll probably get some silver gravel for it and just get it all ready. And we'll leave it up to my dad to get some more fish, and hopefully he's happy with it. Okay, guys, and welcome back to day 2 on doing the fish tank. It is all finished now, but I'm just going to run through what I have done. So, as you can see here, it's all finished. So if you can remember before, it was pine, it didn't go with anything, and now it is white with silver, all the top's flat, we've got the decor back in, I bought some new backing to go on there, the filter and the pump, the filter pump and the heater is all in, just waiting for the optimised temperature to get up. I've got a few drops for to steady the water so the fish can go back in, but look at it, it's completely different, isn't it? A completely different tank. I'm going to take you off the stand and just give you a quick close-up just so you can see how good it actually looks and how well it goes with everything. I'm just going to try and get you off here. So that is how it's looking now in the corner. Just sets it off so well. Goes with everything, like the sofa and everything like that. Just really does go nice. There we go. Let me just quickly do another zoomed in view. Jake's excited about it. He thinks it looks good. We haven't got any fish in there. He's only got 2 fish anyway, but it's just... But you don't... This cost £12 to change this whole design. Look, so under there is done. Because obviously I said I don't do underneath. All the bottom's done. Everything that you can see is done. If you want to change the colour next year, you want to change it up, you can. But I'll just quickly open this. In here isn't been done, but like I say, go around with it with the tape on the outside, making sure that you get everywhere. And literally all the stuff for the tank is in there, plus a fly zapper. But yeah, I think it looks completely transformed from the pine to the white. I think it goes well with the silver. And let's just put you up. If you want to do one of these for yourself, or if you want a hand and you're local, obviously give me a shout. I don't mind coming over and helping anybody that has one and would like to do something like this. But just let me know, guys. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you think this is a good idea, wrapping your tank. So you've been watching Flame with a 4. That's how you wrap a tank. See you again next time. Take care. Bye bye.